Scott Schneider, dawn is off. Mexican Independence Day celebrations now in full swing downtown. We've been telling you about city plans to prevent those long caravans and keep the streets open, but it looks like the revelers are taking over. Now here's the view from above. Sky Fox is up tonight. We've seen fireworks going off and we've seen huge crowds moving in. Now this was the scene on Michigan Avenue within the past hour. As you can see, gridlock, caravans of cars flying the Mexican flag and a huge crowd on the move. But we've also seen this. City trucks moved in to block traffic and control the flow of the crowds on Michigan Avenue. Let's get right to Casey Cronus, who's been tracking the buildup from Little Village to the Loop. Casey?
Hey, Scott, well, this is only the start. We can expect to see cars draped with Mexican flags through at least Sunday. Here's a look at some of the action earlier tonight on Michigan Avenue. As you mentioned, it was gridlocked, but now things are starting to settle down because streets are becoming blocked. Fireworks are going off downtown, and while Chicago police weren't originally planning on closing down any streets, that changed very quickly. The city's Office of Emergency Management in just the last hour making the call to close the Central Business District to traffic. It's closed from Division to 18th Street and from Lakeshore Drive to Halsted Street. You can probably hear some of the honking still behind me as a lot of those cars were already within this area. Now, residents who live or work in the Central Business District will be allowed in at certain intersections and access points. Access points include Division and Halsted and 18th and Indiana. Plus, ramps on the Kennedy Expressway are blocked to keep people from coming downtown. Meanwhile, the festivities are not only underway downtown, but across the city. In Little Village, where the heart of Mexico beats in Chicago, honking and cheering can be heard for blocks on the eve of Mexican Independence Day. Here at 26th and Albany, the 26th Street Parade is just hours away from kicking off.
We will have over 80 floats. We asked every float to represent a different state in Mexico to bring in a more cultural element.
Meanwhile, Elmer Romero is gearing up for a busy weekend of his own.
I am amazed with this neighborhood because of the Mexican presence here.
Selling jewelry in Pilsen, made from silver mined in Mexico City of Taxco.
The hummingbird is very important in Mexican culture.
It's a really beautiful thing to see. We encourage people who come to the parade to stop by the different restaurants and shops and to really support our small businesses on the Little Village corridor. There's a variety of delicious food and beautiful artwork that they can buy and take a little bit of Little Village with them.
The 26th Street Parade is set to kick off at noon tomorrow and will wrap up around 2 o'clock at 26th and Costner. Meanwhile, you'll also be seeing other flags because today is Guatemala's Independence Day as well. Scott?
Casey, I could hear the horns and the honking from inside the building here, but the good news right now, largely peaceful, right?
That's right, Scott. So far, we haven't heard of any major incidents that have occurred tonight. We will continue to check in with police, but right now, just a lot of noise, a lot of honking, fireworks, people, of course, hanging out the windows that officials do not want to see, but we're seeing it like we have in years past. But so far, very peaceful, and we hope it stays that way.